Oh, hello. I didn't see you there.
Oh, no.
Welcome. Come on in to the I Hate Critics 1994 podcast.
No.
I'm professional film critic Sean Patrick.
Uh-huh.
With me is Amy.
We're going to do this the entire time.
Oh, hey.
Oh,
I didn't see you there.
I'm going to punch myself in the face.
Come on in.
Nope. Whenever you're done, you let me know, and I'll come back to you and do the sponsor. That's how this is going to go.
This is my trauma response to this movie.
Oh, my God. I have got to stop thinking.
I'm not mocking trauma responses. If you have a trauma response, that is not a funny joke. I think it's okay.
I do. I have to stop going into these movies thinking, maybe we'll be pleasantly surprised. Because we never are.
Why is 1994 the worst thing that ever happened?
Truly the worst. and we all sat through 1993.
Yeah.
So, nothing that we were alive for these things.
Children of the Corn was fun, you know? Like Leprechaun, that was fun.
There's the halcyon days of youth that have been stripped from us.
So much hubris.
1993 was a little bit more self-aware.
'Twas beauty that killed the beast.
Oh my God. Yeah. So the podcast is sponsored by the Pontiac Fiero, which is the milk money of cars. Yeah.
It's constantly broken down. And deeply inappropriate.
Just like your prostitute friend that you
Sex
brought
worker.
back from New York. She calls herself a prostitute.
Sex worker.
We're going to be like really politically correct now.
I am.
She's a hooker.
I have respect for sex workers.
Well, you can also call them that and also have respect for them. I'm just saying. But I don't have any respect for her.
Amy's coming for the woke mob.
Oh my God. No, I just hate people trying to tell me how to talk. I just can't stand it. Anyway, so it's a woman who likes to sleep with men for money. How about that? In this movie, and I hate it. I hate it. I hate everything about this movie. I'm already angry. I'm also PMSing, so that's not helping. And this movie just proved to me.
Richard Benjamin is a war criminal. He needs to be taken to The Hague and flogged.
Oh no, I liked him too.
He was great in this movie. Oh God, what was it called? As an actor, he didn't direct it.
No, okay, that's it. As an actor, I liked him. And actually, he hosted SNL back in the 70s, and I loved him on there.
It's Diary of a Housewife, I think is the movie. And the director and the writer, husband and wife, are just fucking geniuses. Everything they did. They did a movie called Ladybug that was fucking brilliant. They were so far ahead of their fucking time. But they had Richard Benjamin as the husband in this movie to the housewife. And he's just... You want to punch this man every time you see him. He's the worst human being, but all he's doing is being a man of the 60s. Like, that's all he's doing.
So it's not his fault. That's no excuse.
He's just like his wife is like, where's my breakfast? Or, that kind of bullshit. Like, just that kind of...
Oh, our favorite kind of guy.
Don't forget to pick up all my things and make my dinner. And, honey, where's my suit? And I can't possibly do any of this shit for myself.
He's leaning over to his friends going, women, am I right? And all of his friends are just like, I wouldn't let my woman get away with that.
But it is a full body performance. He is one of history's greatest monsters in that movie. Like, he's just so awful and so oblivious to how awful he is. It's actually like brilliant. Like, you can't do that without being a great actor.
Well, yeah, you'd have to be self-aware to be not self-aware, right? I mean, you have to understand. Yeah, well, I mean, and that's the thing about him is that I just kind of always thought he was a cool kind of a progressive guy. But man, these movies he makes could not possibly live more in the mind of a elderly white man. Like, I mean, honestly, this is what they thought was funny.
From the director of Marcy X.
We don't talk about that movie enough. Wait, that's in a couple of years, isn't it?
2001.
Was it? God, I thought that was late 90s.
Right. I would have thought it was like 1970s. No. Yeah, the 90s. No, 2001. And they thought Damon Wayans would be the right guy. Damon Wayans Sr. would be the right guy to play the hottest rapper in the world.
Oh.
Yeah, and Lisa Kudrow is the rich, out-of-touch white lady who learns hip-hop culture.
Oh, and then she does a lot of that yo, dude, kind of.
Yeah.
Kind of moments like that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm glad we didn't watch that one, but I still feel like...
You know who the right director for that movie is? No one. Because he shouldn't make it.
God.
But other than that, Richard Benjamin.
You know, after watching this, I can see why. Like, I can understand.
Nobody understands the hippity hop like Richard Benjamin.
He does have that look. Like, he gets it. Yeah, hello, fellow children.
Hey, boomers, in case you're wondering why we hate you, it's this shit.
It's this shit right here.
This shit is why we fucking hate you so much.
And I'm concerned because I feel like Mom would have watched Milk Money and said, oh, it's kind of cute. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like that would have been something she would have said.
She's got a thing for hookers with a heart of gold.
You know... Can you blame her? I mean, you can. And you should. Cheekers.
Oh my god, this movie is so terrible.
Everything that we said out loud, they said in the movie. That rarely happens. You know what I mean? Like, you're like, okay,
It's
I know this is just
like,
so schlocky.
It is so ignorantly formulaic.
Yes. And
so, and it's such a terrible form. It smells like bad milk. This movie smells like bad milk.
bad Milk Money.
3 kids go to the city with $100 in their pocket because they want to buy a sex worker and have her do sex worker things, I guess.
They just want to look at boobs.
They want boobs. That's really the motivational factor of the entire movie is boobs.
Can we rewind first to our opening credit scene to 3 young boys talking about the most disgusting...
Oh, God. I didn't want to remember that.
Oh, and thank God we were waiting for our food. Thank God we weren't eating because it was just saying the most disgusting bodily function.
Yeah, no.
And it's like, okay, this is how you're starting the movie. And I knew then. It was at that moment where I realized, oh, this is going to suck.
They're hanging in their treehouse, and they're for some reason they're making boobs on the ceiling with their
flashlights, like you do. Well, I mean, that's what all you guys did back then, right? I don't want to generalize, but I'm gonna say that sounds like something you kids would do back then.
Yeah. Wow.
Boobs.
That's so bizarre. I was watching something. I can't remember what. Oh, was it Red Letter Media? They were talking about forest porn.
Where you go and find a magazine. But the weird thing is,
every kid in town knew where the porno mag was in the forest. That's just on the edge of town.
What felt so weird to us was that felt real. Like, you're touching on something that in Princeton, Iowa, definitely happened.
Pre-internet. That was a big deal. And
there was always a copy of something in the forest that you could find. Even as girls, we'd find them out there. And it was kind of like, they were just growing there for us to explore. Next to the tree house, where Jen and I had LA Gear Club. We had little LA Gear gloves and shoes. And we'd read magazines. Not porno, because that's what you boys were doing when we could hear you outside the tree house, looking for porn.
It's one thing for you to reminisce about things that you did as a child, though. And it can be funny like that, but for a man of Richard Benjamin's age, and he's got to be in his 50s, 60s when he made this fucking movie.
I would say about
for him to spend as much time thinking about little boys, thinking about porn, is just it's bizarre to me. I don't think about little boys thinking about porn ever.
It hadn't occurred to me until today. I mean, I understand, and these kids are of the age probably 12, 13.
Yeah,
they're exploring. And it's,
if you've got a
smartphone
for
their body.
I mean, if you're listening to this show, you'd know how to find porn.
Well, not because I've told you where to go to look for it, but
it's the one step we haven't taken.
It's the one. Well,
other than Color of Night was kind of porn. A little bit. It was a little porn. It was on the border.
I'm still not over that movie.
Our most popular episode ever.
That's crazy. So crazy.
I think we have to start mentioning Bruce Willis's dick on every podcast.
You know what?
up the subscriber count.
Well, okay, but I did mention it in the North review, and no one is watching our North
That's
review.
true.
So
Yeah, maybe that's not the common denominator.
I feel bad because again, I think I know where the idea of this, like, okay, some movies can take that age and do something really neat with it. They can take it and go and not be overly nostalgic about it. They can just talk about rites of passage and just moments in our lives, like, let's say, like, the Wonder Years covered, you know what I mean?
Right.
With some reverence. And good music.
Rob Reiner made the definitive one of these, and we hate Rob Reiner on this show. Rob Reiner is a criminal on this show because he made North.
He made North,
and I think he did one other one we hated too.
I'm sure.
But
I still love him.
Stand By Me. Say what you will about Stand By Me. That's the appropriate version of this movie. Like,
that is S-tier.
Replace a dead body with a hooker.
S tier movie. And then this is F tier.
But no, that's how you reminisce about. That's how you make how an older gentleman makes a movie about children, and how they talk, and it feels authentic. This doesn't feel authentic. This feels like an old man telling boys to say boobs over and over again.
Boobs. Well, yeah, and we keep going back to that too, which is weird. Yeah, there's a difference between, like,
all of the kids in this movie got out of acting. Like, they got out of acting. Like, they didn't want to act anymore after they did
because they felt cursed.
I don't know. I've never heard them comment on why they got out of acting. It's just a coincidence, but it's a pretty good coincidence that none of them went on to act after this, because I imagine it was just, there's this old man telling us about sex and hookers and
Yeah, you know what, and that's, going back to Stand By Me, that's kind of the thing. Like, they mentioned, like, girly mags in that movie, but they do it so quickly because that wasn't the only thing that, young boys were thinking about. There was sports.
Yeah.
And,
music.
Fear of Your Father.
Yeah.
Lots of different things. It was nuanced, and there were layers. This movie, there are no layers. All you guys wanted to do was see boobs. And
there's three little raging hard-ons just running around everywhere.
That's it. And all three of them, like, one is a leather jacket wearing kid.
Yeah, he's cool.
And then the one is a germaphobe.
Until the end.
Till the end.
His arc is going from being a germaphobe to being Pigpen from the Penis cartoons.
And none of us understand why that happened. There was no real lead up for that.
I mean, the motivation was that he found out that his dad knew Melanie Griffith's character, the sex worker, and and since his dad knew who she was, he figured out his entire family was a lie. And this was his trauma response to finding out his family was a lie because his dad was cheating on his wife with a sex worker. Family film.
I feel like that wasn't meant for us. Like, that was somebody else working out their own trauma. Like, just throw that in the movie. I gotta get this off my chest. That's so weird. Wow.
There's a place and time to talk about this stuff. It's not a family movie.
It's not a family movie. We should be very clear about that.
Like, there's a place in the world for sex education, but really not the way they did it here.
No. Not to mention, I mean, there's certain notes of incest.
Yeah, that's a running gag in this movie is incest, which is great.
Love that. Again, this movie is predicated on a simple misunderstanding as well.
Oh, fuck. One of the dumbest misunderstandings fucking ever. And they just carry it on.
Like Remains of the Day, endlessly. It's still going. It's still going.
So Ed Harris is the father of one of the little boys, the lead little boy, Frank. And Frank has brought the sex worker back home with him because they got trapped in the city after their bikes were stolen, and they gave her all their money because they wanted to see her boobs. And she does show them her boobs, by the way. They're in a scene in this movie.
She does.
She takes their $100 and she shows them her boobs. We only see it from behind, Melanie Griffith's back. And Frank looks away because this is his new mom.
Not yet, but I mean, we know
That's where
where
we're
this
going.
is going. Right.
So he doesn't want to look at his mom's boobs because he's a
Right.
gentleman.
Yes.
That's what he said. But before that, we're getting to the... Anyway. She was wearing... By the way, she was wearing Post-it notes over her nipples to make this appropriate.
I just feel like that's incorrect. Which one of the kids said that? The leather jacket wearer one? He said, yeah, by the way, she was wearing Post-it notes.
No, that was IMDb trivia.
Oh.
That's how they covered her up on the set.
No.
They put Post-it notes over her
they
nipples.
didn't.
Yes, they did.
Absolutely not. I feel like there's violations there. I feel like Melanie Griffith could fire people or could take down...
Like Melanie Griffith could be charged with a crime.
Yeah. Melanie, I'm sorry. We were going to give you a towel, but instead use these 2x2 Post-its.
That little boy is in a towel, by the way. So much in the movie. Why?
There's just so much inappropriate skin sharing.
And story sharing. So, like, the leather jacket kid, the cool kid. They're walking to school, him and Frank, and he tells a story to Frank about how... So Frank says, "So you saw your sister naked?" And he goes, "Yeah, I saw her in the shower. I was hiding in the laundry basket." And then they high five. This kid's gonna have so many issues growing up. Like it just so many. He's just already a sex criminal. He's just already a criminal.
You know, dress for the job you want.
Oh.
And he already kind of looked kind of slimy anyway.
He's 12.
He's 12, but
The director made him do these things.
I know that. But okay, but let's pretend like it's a real thing. And what must your home life be like if you think looking at your sister in the
God.
shower is where this needs to go?
Where is his parents? Where are his parents
That's
at?
well, I mean, he has a leather jacket. I don't think he has parents. I think that he's living with his sister.
His personality is leather jacket.
That's it. And he's living with his sister who's 18, who has a job at the local, like, campus town. And she brings home lots of boyfriends.
We never meet the sister, thankfully.
Although,
What
what
would
I
that
just
have been
described, I probably would have watched that movie. Fascinating.
But yeah, that's an actual anecdote from the movie Milk Money.
And then, like, that moment, though, too, and you're screaming, and I'm like, what just happened? What happened? Like, you had to stop and tell me what he said, because I had just...
Well, because it was like 80-yard dialogue off screen.
That's
like,
right. Well, but for me, like, honestly, I think I was
that's
having...
the pickup that they chose, is that story.
And I feel like I was having a trauma response, so I dipped out for a little bit. And I don't know why.
So the sex worker, V, gives them a ride home from the city after she's shown them her boobs. And she's got... she gives them a ride home, then her car breaks down. And the kid, Frank, introduces her to his dad, Tom, played by Ed Harris. Mm-hmm. With the most... who is just always in his life had the most unnatural hair.
Most unnatural
Just
hair.
the strangest... How does that hair stand like that? He's balding, but like the hair that he does have just stands straight up.
It's like those balls at Spencer's where you put your hand around it and then like the lasers go wherever. That's what happens with Ed Harris's head. And that's what's happening with his hair in this. Like you just put your hand over it, it's going like that. Yeah, he's always had that, hasn't he?
Yeah.
It's like the movie will star Ed Harris, but mostly it stars his hair, doesn't it? Or lack thereof.
In Love Lies Bleeding, he has a skullet.
Oh no.
Yeah. A ponytail skullet.
I think the most natural his hair ever looked was in the Sweet Dreams in the Patsy Cline story. That's the most natural it ever looked. And they had to manipulate that for hours to make that happen.
Shave your head, bro.
But you know what? I will say this. I never understood the appeal of Ed Harris. It's just me. I mean, I can appreciate the talent. I never understood the appeal. And yet, his character was the only one in this movie where I'm like, I kind of like, well, good for you, guy. You know, go get yours, you know.
He's a science teacher who's trying to save the wetlands.
See, and I never got the fact that he was a teacher until
Because he's never in a classroom.
Well, yeah, and I just
He's always at the wetlands. Like, taxpayer money are sending you to wetlands that are just not even protected.
But I thought he was just a nerd who liked plants. Because he's got this
That's
big
not a
greenhouse.
Job. That's not
Isn't
a job.
it? We've seen it in other movies. Somehow they live in a really nice home with a room like that.
He's not Lily Blossom Bloom.
I don't know.
From It Ends With Us.
Well...
Actual name of that character.
No, it's not. Yeah. Is that why there's so much backlash?
No, you don't know about this?
No.
Tangent. So Blake Lively is, according to D'Angelo on YouTube, she's speedrunning the end of her career.
Oh, like he said that about 5 other people, but whatever.
So, It Ends With Us is not a terrible movie. Mm-hmm. I kind of liked it. It's very blunt about its subject matter, which is domestic violence. She's a Lily Blossom Bloom, the main character. Stop laughing; that's not funny.
Sorry,
she owns a flower shop.
Oh, really? That's a little on the nose. Okay.
She meets handsome Squidward.
Oh.
The director Justin Baldoni is the epitome of handsome Squidward. They fall in love, but he's volatile and he does abuse her. And she tries to pretend it didn't happen or it happened a different way. Like there's an excuse and a reason why he did it, but that's just her mind. We're seeing her mind kind of justify, the abuse. Like he didn't mean to do it this time and he didn't mean to push me down the stairs. But then she realizes in the end as she's about to give birth that like, oh my God, he actually did hit me there and he did push me down the stairs and he can't be in our child's life.
Jesus.
So, Blake Lively is the star of this movie and the producer of this movie. Mm-hmm. And when she starts the campaign to promote the movie, she's so chipper and so bubbly. And, she wants you to get your gals together and go have a gals' night and see It Ends With Us. And it's like, what are you doing?
Oh, no.
Blake, what are you doing? This is a movie about domestic violence. Then she used this campaign for the movie to also launch her hair care brand.
Oh.
She's launching a hair care brand while they're doing the press tour for It Ends With Us, and people are like, you don't think this is the wrong movie to maybe have this kind of blasé attitude about it? And apparently, I guess, and this is only TikTok rumors, so don't take this as truth, but apparently people are saying that Justin Baldoni is a little bit bothered by how not sacred she's treating this, I guess. She's being inappropriately, chipper about this. And then it's uncovered a lot of other video of, her being a bitch in the past, just for no good reason. She'll just, with an interviewer will ask her an innocent question, and she'll just kind of respond bitchy, and then just, there's one where she's doing an interview next to Parker Posey. They're in a movie together, and she the interviewer asks her a very normal question that you would ask anybody, and she responds I guess she was asking her about her clothes, and she's like, well, you wouldn't ask a man about her clothes or whatever. That's fine.
That's true.
Not untrue, but then she just turns and starts having a conversation with Parker Posey and just shuts this woman off completely. And it's you're one question into the interview. Can you maybe...
I kind of like that, actually.
Okay.
I'm totally for anybody. It's always the dresses and the beauty questions for the women.
But then she's also out here promoting brands while she's promoting a domestic violence movie.
Bitch gotta eat. Oh, I don't know. By the way that all of this is going and people are always getting exposed, I just think everybody sucks. And I think the apocalypse is the answer. I really do. Because no one can do anything right these days. So,
well, maybe don't launch your beauty brand while you're promoting a movie about domestic abuse.
Well, timing is everything.
Maybe don't tell everybody to get their gals together to go have a gals' night to see this domestic violence movie.
I think I've had enough gals' nights where we discuss domestic violence. I don't want to go see a movie about it. Thank you. I appreciate the invitation, Blake. To be honest, I don't go out that much anymore, so it's fine.
Yeah. It's not I will not say she's a terrible person or needs to go away. I'm saying, but it's just have some fucking awareness of any kind. Rich people are so weird. They at a certain point, you become so rich, you don't understand the world around you anymore. Like, this bubble is so thick that you have no recognition of anything. Like, she insulted the writers of the movie by saying, oh yeah, that rooftop scene, my husband wrote that. It's like, no, he didn't. He's not a credited screenwriter on the fucking movie. No, like, there are, like, a couple of, like, lines that were improv on set that maybe, I guess if he was there, maybe he came up with that. But he didn't write the fucking scene. He's not a credited writer on the movie, Blake. Okay. Maybe don't take that away from the screenwriters.
You know, they're a power couple. And to me, I love that Ryan Reynolds. I do love that man. Mm-hmm.
But again, like, people get so rich that just don't see. They can't see anything anymore.
Yeah, I wish we'd get to that point. When does that happen for us?
Never.
Here?
Never.
Quick pause, by the way. A little late to the party, but our most popular YouTube video, Color of Night, is now up on our Facebook page. If you haven't gone to our YouTube, you can go check out. And I even actually said, fans, meet our most popular YouTube upload, Color of Night, starring Bruce Willis, Scott Bakula, briefly, and Bruce Willis's penis. I mean, let's give it a credit. You know what I mean? It deserved its own.
Lil Bruce.
Lil Brucey. Anyway, back to Milk Money. Thank God there's no penises in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Thank God there's no Bruce Willis penis in Milk Money. That would be oddly misplaced.
This is a family picture.
I love that we keep saying that. And because we are family and watched it, I still don't think that that's a fair statement, or it's a true statement.
It's a PG movie.
PG-13, right? Because they talk about boobs a lot in this movie.
I think they got PG out of this. It was 94. It was a different time.
But we saw Melanie Griffith's naked back. And we had to listen to...
There didn't do a single F word in the entire movie.
No, because a little kid told her not to cuss.
Yeah.
He taught that dirty old hag not to say bad words. Is this like an Eliza Doolittle thing? In a way? Because, and then he keeps giving, like, his mom died as she was giving birth to him.
Yeah, so he never met her.
He never met her, but they still have all of her clothes 13 years later, and all of those clothes that would have been from 1982 look strikingly like outfits from Adelia's catalog in 1994. Just saying.
Wouldn't it have been great if she had to be in 82 clothes the entire movie?
I would
Melanie
love,
Griffith
to me,
goes into her closet, there's just moths. Like, just moth-eaten styles of 1982.
Oh, God. Really horrible itchy tags on everything. You know what? I actually would have liked that. I would have thought to myself, now see, that's commitment. Because that's how that really would be.
Lots of browns, lots of greens.
Lots of oranges. Why are those pants made of carpet? We don't know. God, so much uncomfortable wool. Yeah, I think that would have been better. That would have added to the film for me. That would have added
Maybe
to
it's
the
the
story.
clothes that aged people so quickly. The boomers aged so quickly. Maybe it was the clothes, like, because they're collecting all the sweat on their body all the time, and all the clothes they're wearing.
Which is so weird, and that's...
To try and move around because they're so sweat-covered.
And if you go back and smell your grandparents' clothes from them, you can still smell the sadness on them if you really sniff well enough. Yeah, that would have been give me that story where she had to dress like she was from the 80s. Because that's all the... And again, it's like...
By now, Amy, I just have to tell you something.
Nope.
That if you were a grandmother in 1982, you're probably a great-grandmother now. So just FYI. Oh. So we're talking about your great-grandmother's clothes from the early 80s.
Oh. Yeah, those were choices. I like to do that thing now where every movie that Sean and I, or usually MJ, try to watch, I like to say, they're dead now. It doesn't matter when it came out or how old they are.
Yeah.
They're dead now.
Yeah, isn't it sad that every dog we see in every movie we watch is dead?
I hate that. I hate that you put it in that perspective now for me. I'm walking away.
Yeah, if you're watching a movie from the 90s, all those dogs are dead now.
Aww. But take heart, because all dogs go to heaven. Oh, shoot.
I just don't know.
I do.
Like,
What's to know anymore?
so the kid is failing anatomy class?
I think I don't. They didn't have anatomy in 13.
It's a grade school, so they didn't know.
Oh, it's junior high.
They just have a sex ed class, or is it science?
Yeah.
Is it science class?
No, it would have been health class.
Health
That's
class.
what we had it in our junior high.
So he's failing it because he doesn't talk about, because he doesn't want to. He hates sex. And he thinks it's a scheme.
Sex is a scam. He does actually say it.
He
actually
says sex
that
is a
in the film.
scheme.
And I don't disagree with him. I mean, at that age, I probably would have felt the same way.
He feels it's a scheme, whatever that means.
Okay, yeah, because if you take the meaning of scheme, it kind of is, right? The whole thing is the plan is to get into someone's pants.
So his idea for passing his class is to have Melanie Griffith sneak in through a window, so wearing a bodysuit.
Yes, because his teacher said he had to give a oral report.
Yeah.
Give an oral report. And I hate to say this, but they really lingered on the word oral a little bit too long for me.
Because that
I
kid
don't know if you
doesn't
noticed
know.
that? No.
Kid doesn't understand that joke.
No.
He doesn't know what joke he's making there.
Nope.
That's Richard Benjamin saying that.
Oral. Isn't it cute when a kid says oral? That's a family film. Oral.
Yeah, he covers for V when V meets his dad, and he covers for her by saying that she's a math tutor for one of his friends. And
we went back to this. I forgot.
So Ed Harris is like talking to her like he knows who she is. He knows she's a math teacher, but the kid tells Melanie Griffith that he told his dad the truth and told him who she is, really, a sex worker. And so she thinks the entire time that he's talking to her about what she does for a living, he thinks she's talking about being a math tutor. And she thinks that the questions he's asking her are coming about being a sex worker. And that he's treating her like a human being even though he knows she's a sex worker.
Oh, it's hijinks.
Another friend of his also says that she's she tells the kids that she's Ed Harris's sister.
Yeah.
So that when they're seen later on the street kissing, that kid can go, "Oh no, that's don't pay attention to that. That's his sister."
And that's where we got the incest scent is what I meant to say.
That's one of like two different. They're like two. Incest is really a runner in the movies. They call it as they call it a biz. It's a runner. I'm going back to the incest runner in my screenplay. Hang on, I got an incest runner going on here.
So, is that like a callback?
It's
It's
a reference.
Okay. They did that a few times in here.
Incest is a motif.
Well,
In this family picture.
it's a family movie, Sean. You'd think that
Oh.
family.
Incest is a running joke in a family. That's the best joke in the movie.
Oh. I almost forgot what movie we watched. For a second.
It's called Milk Money. Ed Harris begins to fall in love with Melanie Griffith while he's trying to fix her car so she can go home. Meanwhile, she's living in his son's treehouse out back and reading The Flash
I think
comic book.
What bothers me is that he had a few Cosmo magazines that she probably would have enjoyed more because she's a girl.
Girls love Cosmo.
But I mean, give her a copy of The Flash. That's cool.
That's what a little boy would do. Is give somebody a copy of The Flash.
But I feel like if this is a 90s movie written by white men...
Also, the boy reads Cosmo.
No, yeah. Which, again...
Even though he thinks sex is a scheme.
He's so quirky. He's so quirky.
It's so quirky. It's a misunderstanding. Also, one of his friend's dads was a client of V.
That's right. And it was so creepy.
He's not even a character in the movie.
Nope.
But as soon as the son realizes that his dad knows who V is, because he knows who V is because he's seen her boobs, he paid to see her boobs. He realizes that his dad is obviously paid V for sex, so his entire life just is a lie, and it falls apart, and that's why he becomes Pigpen. That's why his arc is going from nerdy kid to Pigpen.
I'm glad you explained it, because I did not understand at all. I didn't know where that was going.
That small child had a nervous breakdown, Amy. That's his plot in the movie. He's having his entire life proven to be a lie, and then he has a fucking nervous breakdown, leading him to just not wash himself anymore.
No.
The thing about bad movies is that these bad movies, they don't take any time to think about, the consequences of anyone's actions. Mm-hmm. Like how what they're doing is going to affect the rest of their lives. Like going to the city and nearly getting robbed and murdered, which almost happens to them until V accidentally saves them. Like they get robbed and nearly murdered. The guy holds a gun on them.
Yeah. That's just in the beginning of the movie. Yeah.
I was 13 and a cop caught me and my friends trying to tip a pop machine so we could get Cokes for free, and he held us on the ground with his gun. Like he had us lay flat on our face, flat face down, arms and legs spread, and held a gun on us because we were trying to tip a pop machine.
Oh, I remember
and
that.
And I've never forgotten the trauma of having a gun pointed at my head over fucking Coca-Cola.
Mom was so mad about that. I will never forget that. Wow. Yeah, you did have a lot of trauma.
But, that happens to these kids, and it's like, I'll do it to my life now.
I'll never remember
Normal.
It. Yeah. Wow, yeah.
Bad screenwriters don't care about the consequences, the actions that are taken. First of all, they kill his mom when he's born. He's responsible for her death.
Yeah. How does it feel to be born and killing your mom, dude? Good job. Stupid kid.
And all he knows about his mom is she looks like Grace Kelly over and over again. Hey, Milk Money, take Grace Kelly's fucking name out of your mouth. All right?
By the way, no one looked like Grace Kelly in this movie. And why they kept referencing it blew my mind.
No. Melanie Griffith looks a lot like Tippi Hedren, but other than that.
That's it. And there's a reason for that. So, do you mind if I just interject with, what the fuck are we dropping all of these actors in this movie for? Malcolm McDowell, Anne Heche, Philip Bosco, just random people that have a bigger cachet, I would say, and they're just dropped in this movie, and we without any explanation. Anne Heche's character,
Casey
I kind of get it.
explaining why his career ended.
Oh,
The worst performance in the movie.
I had a huge crush on him.
He was so terrible in this movie.
He was awful.
He was just god awful.
And when he died, no one cared.
Oh,
I didn't know
sad.
He was dead. And I loved it. Yeah, the guy carved his heart out.
Oh, the character.
Yeah.
I thought you said Casey Shamaska was dead.
No, Casey's not dead.
I don't know. I didn't know that
I love him. I love him to death.
He was so bad in this movie. He's terrible. Anne Heche, we're not gonna talk about Anne Heche because that is just.
Yeah, but she was horrible in this movie though too. She was.
There may have been a reason for that.
Yeah. Oh, we're not. Yeah.
Yeah. A well-pronounced drug and alcohol bipolar issue may explain that performance.
Well, not that it matters, but she looked beautiful in this movie. I will say that. She's always a gorgeous woman. And what bugs me is that talented actress too. Mm-hmm. Extremely talented. So that's unfortunate. And again, you give her a role that is just here, are you busy today? Do you want to come down to the set and do this for us? Everything was done by a favor in this movie.
Just follow Malcolm McDowell around.
Yeah, can you do that? He's just going to berate you for the last half of the film. So
you're not even worth the price of a bullet.
God damn it.
As a line in this movie.
And then she said, yes, I am. And then they fight over it.
No, you're not. Yes, I am. No, you're not. Yes, I am. No, you're not.
And that's where we realized that it actually
Comedy!
it was a 12-year-old kid who actually wrote the script. So, there's that now. We know that.
Yeah, in your family film, Casey Shamasco's character had his heart carved out of his chest by Malcolm McDowell.
But it's a family film.
It's a family.
He had it done probably by somebody who is in a family.
Meanwhile, Malcolm McDowell's having like a trauma response because Milk Money's the movie they showed him in Clockwork Orange.
Oh my god. They just gave him a reel of his future. Here you go.
You're gonna be in this and the Halloween sequels. No! God!
No.
I'll change everything. Please.
And that's for Caligula. Ah, damn it.
I love Caligula. The ultimate cut, not the original.
I just don't ever want to have a baby in public. And if you watch Caligula, you won't either. Trust me, you will not. Helen Mirren, what you absolute gem. I don't know how you did it. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I just nothing was cohesive yet again in a film from 1994. You're dropping in actors out of nowhere.
And this is the thing, like, bad filmmakers have no care for any kind of detail, whether it's the production design, the costumes. They don't give a fuck.
Right.
Like, doesn't matter to them. They're just trying to get this thing done and move on to the next thing. I keep trying to explain to people why Adrienne Shelley is such a massive loss to the world, because if you watch Waitress, she cares about every single detail, every lighting setup, every camera movement. She has put a detailed examination of why she wants it there. Every lighting thing, she's just the amount of detail that she has is like Scorsese level of detail.
Because it matters.
It fucking matters to her.
Yeah.
And
God bless
that's
her.
what great filmmakers do. Everything has to matter. Everything that's going to be, if it's going to be on frame, it fucking matters to me.
That's right.
It's not a cracked poster of Wayne's World just on some kid's wall fucking randomly. Why is that fucking thing there?
You know what makes me sad? I don't understand why, to this day, you and I are those people that have to look at the set decoration. But we do.
Well, because it's a
really
bad
do.
movie.
Yeah.
No, my friend Linda Cook, who is a film critic, a brilliant film critic, told me that when she's watching a bad movie, like, that's when she starts looking at lamps. When she's looking for a nice lamp at that point. Like, fuck this movie. This movie sucks. But hey, that's not a bad lamp.
I do that with if you see like a stereo or record player, I'm always looking to see if I can identify a spine. And one of the most annoying things to me was in one of the Twilight movies, and Edward is playing. I think it was the first one. Edward goes to play like some classical music for Bella, and I'm like, you've got that fucking setup, but you couldn't be fucked to put out any albums. Like, you can't see his collection. It's because everything is so sleek. That's not the point of having a collection. It's to show it off. And I just don't like that. So to me, if you're a real record collector, you're going to have shit everywhere. You're not going to have it like Edward Cullen. Sorry. It's not going to happen like that.
But the details fucking matter.
They do matter.
They matter.
Yep.
And Richard Benjamin could not give a shit about anything that happens in this fucking movie. He's just trying to get it done.
I kind of feel bad for him. Like, maybe he did.
If he did, that's sad.
But
like, if he took any time, if he actually took any time to put any of that shit together, the costumes, the lighting, the cinematography, if he ever saw any of that, he's just not good at his job.
sorry, Mr. Bennett, we're letting you go. You're just not good at your job.
You're just not good at your job. He's just not. I'm sorry.
Not.
He's objectively not good at this. Milk Money and Marcy X.
Oh.
Proof of concept. When I say Richard Benjamin's a bad director, I can just go look at the movies he made.
Follow the money. Now I want to go back and watch his interviews, like if he defends any of these. You know what I mean? Like, why'd you get involved, Richard? I don't know. Well, we were, I had a mortgage.
I think he was also in Geely.
Was he? God, talk about curses.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Wow, Jesus.
Terrible.
Terrible.
Like Gary Marshall levels of terrible.
Well, and I got scared because I didn't realize Frank Marshall. But when I saw Marshall, the last name, come up at the beginning, I'm like, oh no, are we? And is Frank Marshall related to Gary?
I don't know.
Because that's the thing. It's there's a balance of power. Either you're Penny Marshall.
Richard Benjamin is the Gary Marshall you have at home.
Oh, he's the Timu. Oh,
That's bad. That's bad.
Yeah.
That's very bad.
And it's not even comforting to know that you have one at home.
Ugh.
That's what makes you so sad.
Gary Marshall's terrible. And I don't know if I get that across in the show every week.
We do cover that, I think, weekly.
It's a motif, kind of like incest in this movie is a motif. Gary Marshall sucks the motif of this show.
It's a choice. It's a choice.
It's a runner.
And he made it. He made it a choice. Oh, wow.
So he takes Melanie Griffith to class with him, and he shows off her body to demonstrate that he knows where the uterus is, and the fallopian tubes, and so on and so forth.
That's right.
But he doesn't teach the kids the most important thing, Amy.
Which was
that there's a place on a woman's body where you can touch her that will make her more excited than anything.
And what did I scream at the end of the movie?
It's her heart.
It's her heart. That's exactly what I said.
And then Melanie Griffith says it, and we just fucking died. Just wished for death. There is a place on a woman's body where you can touch her and it'll excite her.
And then I said, her heart? And then she goes, it's your heart. And I'm like, oh! We both, we audibly groaned. Everything hurt. God.
You just know that screenwriter was so proud of himself.
He was.
You just saw, oh yeah, I got this.
Oh.
Her heart.
Oh, the little leather jacket kid. You know what he went on to do?
He worked for Tim and Eric.
But he also was in Beautician and the Beast. With Fran Drescher.
Oh, wow.
And Timothy Dalton.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. No one has referenced that since Mystery Science Theater. I'm sorry. And that's all I've got. That's all I've got.
Do you think he touched Fran Drescher's heart?
I think he touched...
The one place on a woman that will excite her?
No, but he was on Seventh Heaven where he did touch Beverly Mitchell's heart. And possibly something else.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So... Oh.
It's such a terrible line.
That's... Okay, so this makes sense, though. So Adam Laporta, he did go on to do Tim and Eric. He and Alan Thicke were on Seventh Heaven together, which is how he got Alan Thicke on Tim and Eric. So now that makes sense. I put it all together.
Alan Thicke is a fucking criminal.
Oh my god, but he was really funny on Tim and Eric.
He's a fucking criminal.
He's dead though, you know that, right?
I'm glad. There's a lot of very lucky people.
What did he do?
He married a 16-year-old.
When?
He married a 16-year-old child.
When?
Christy Swanson, dude. She was 16 when she met him. Fuck you, she was.
I gotta look this up.
She met him when she was 16.
Wife. Was that when he was married?
I don't know. Maybe, probably.
Gloria Loring.
Very well could be. Yeah, that happened.
His first wife was Gloria Loring.
Ugh.
Then his second wife was Gina Tollison, Miss World 1990.
Yeah, what was was it Christy Swanson? I don't know.
I don't think it was.
Yeah. Anyway, he met a 16-year-old girl, and he did bad things. Allegedly. If the estate of Alan Thicke is listening, it's alleged.
Oh. Wait, do you get to say that now? After we already said
I just did. It's alleged. It's not true.
Oh my god.
There's no evidence. There's no evidence other than my conjecture.
And then we wonder why his son was so weird. That's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not saying anything about that.
Don't Google Alan Thicke, folks. Don't do it.
Too late. I'll never get this time back.
The screenwriter, by the way, is John Matson.
Do we know who that is?
He directed. He wrote this, and he wrote 2 sequels to Free Willy.
I almost felt like I had something to add.
And he littered those 2 Free Willy movies with incest jokes.
Oh, I hope so.
There were runners in all the Free Willy movies about incest.
Let's be honest. I mean, at least he picked the right projects.
This is a not a necessary thing to mention, but it's just weird. the character V, Melanie Griffith's character V, the sex worker. You know what V stands for? Eve.
Oh, that's right. Because she changed her name because she thought it was too religious. And as the woman that she was, she shouldn't have it.
What she said was that she ran out of E names, and so she just went with V.
But she said that she didn't want it because it was a religious name, though, too. That's why she went with V.
But she ran out of E's first.
I don't understand.
I don't know. That's a line of this movie that John Mattson wrote. Ask John Mattson. John, why is the character named Eve going by V?
Wow. Alan Thicke did begin dating 17-year-old Christy Swanson in 1987. They got engaged, but they never got married.
But they met when she was 16.
That's gross.
Yeah, that's fucked up. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
It's so gross.
So
Sorry I
fucked.
went back to that, but I had to know what was happening. I had to know. And now I know.
Yeah, and now everyone knows.
Now everyone knows. Well, he's dead, so it doesn't matter. It's all gone.
Partying with Gary Marshall.
Oh. Oh.
Poor Gary's like, all I did was direct terrible movies. Why am I in hell?
That because Gary, that's why. You unleashed that to the world. Damn it.
Gary, can I show you this picture of Dan Aykroyd and Rosie O'Donnell in fetish gear? Oh, that's why I'm in hell.
That's
okay.
right.
Sorry, everybody.
So you didn't think that was funny then? No.
Nope.
No, Gary.
Nope.
Actually,
No,
we all should be filing an assault lawsuit for doing that to us.
Don't worry, I petitioned for him to go to hell when I saw it. So I called Satan personally. I said, I sent him a picture of Rosie O'Donnell and Dan Aykroyd in fetish gear, and I said, this man belongs with you.
Have you ever seen Stancy Potenza? And she plays the devil and God. And then she's like, oh, nope, you don't even have to explain it to me. I'll take him. It's so fucking funny. God damn it. Yeah. Well, so what are we watching next week?
Oh, I don't know. Fucking Milk Money just happened.
Yep, I know. But we have to know what's happening next time, don't we?
I think you need to call MJ and tell them about Milk Money.
I don't think MJ's going to answer the phone. Probably because they know what we just watched. I'm just saying.
MJ needs to hear all about this movie.
Oh my god, no. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Just because I still feel like there's hope for MJ in this world. And I don't want to take that away.
MJ's seen Threesome. There is no hope.
Well, we did that, though. I blame us for a lot of the trauma, really. Don't you? You do.
We're watching The Next Karate Kid next week.
Oh,
with Hilary Swank
no.
and Pat
Morita. Do we have to? Wait, there's no other choices? No other choices.
No.
Absolutely no other choices.
Do you want to watch A Good Man in Africa?
What the fuck is that?
I don't fucking know, but I want to watch it.
Yeah, you're right. All right.
Don't worry. It's just we're one movie away from Time Cop.
Oh God. Let's just do that one. I'll just fuck all and just jump ahead. Time Cop. God damn it.
Time Cop is right around the corner. I cannot wait.
Time Cop.
Time Cop. He's a cop. Time.
In time?
Yeah. He goes through time. And Ron Silver's in it.
And he's greasy.
There's two Ron Silvers, and there's old and young Ron Silver in the movie.
He's going to be very oily.
He's manipulating time to make him the president.
Ron Silver has the most oily name, doesn't he? Ron Silver, don't you think? Oily.
He's stealing gold from the Civil War time and bringing it forward into his time.
And that's where the Time Cop comes in and says, nope,
I'm the Time Cop.
we got to leave those relics in the past.
I'm a cop in time, and you cannot do that.
God.
You also can't buy that Apple stock.
Oh, you can't do anything because of the Time Cop.
I'm a Time Cop.
That makes sense, actually. I'm going to write some fan fiction this afternoon. Time Cop.
Mia Sara plays his wife.
Ron Silvers?
No. Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Oh, that's unfortunate. I forgot he was in that.
You forgot Van Damme was the time cop?
Yeah.
He also has a mullet.
Jean-Claude, gosh darn.
He also does the splits.
Time cop. In 2 weeks. Next week it's just not a sad movie.
Hey, we don't know if the next Karate Kid is a bad movie. It's a family film. Maybe it's got an incest run.
I hope it has an incense. Why do I keep saying incense? I hope it has incense in it.
Richard Benjamin is a war criminal.
Say hello to Gary for us, Richard.
There's a place on a woman's body where you can touch her and it'll excite her more than anything.
In between her big toe and her small toe. And her heart.
It's her belly button.
It's her belly.
Boop. Whoa. That's how that works.
Shut up. Aww. Alan Thicke's tragic love for underage Buffy star.